So excited to be here with you all today. And I gotta tell you, I'm so ready to revisit this crazy animal world in Zootopia 2. At the heart of the story is our dynamic duo, Judy and Nick, our fox and our bunny. But very excitingly, in this new movie, it is not just them who is returning. All of your favorite characters will be back. Chief Bogo will be back, Clawhauser will be back, and of course, Flash the Sloth will be returning.
Gazelle is returning to Zootopia too. That's right, Gazelle is back, and she's got a new look, a new song, and of course, new dance moves. Just wait until you see what she and her tiger dancers have been working on. I know you're going to love it. That's all I can share for now, but I look forward to seeing you all on my tour next year, and I'll see you at the movies next November.
Shakira is back. Like she said, Gazelle will be singing an all-new song, which I cannot wait for you all to hear. And of course, Gazelle and her tiger dancers will be bringing a lot of new dance moves along with it. But that is not the only new thing that will be in Zootopia 2, because I am very excited to tell you we will also be meeting members of the animal kingdom that we have never seen before. And that is reptiles. Reptiles have had a shady past in Zootopia, but there is one reptile in particular who shows up and sends Judy and Nick off on a whole new mystery. And here he is, meet Gary. Okay, look at this guy, he's terrifying. So I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that when we first meet Gary, he is a wanted criminal who's wanted by the police, and Judy and Nick go undercover to find him. How do they do that? Well, with the help of another new character named Nibbles. Here's Nibbles. Okay, so Nibbles is an eager beaver who takes Nick and Judy to a neighborhood in Zootopia that we've never seen before. It's called Marsh Market. It's where the semi-aquatic mammals live. This part of town is all new to Nick and Judy. It's a place where local animals have their own unique personalities and way of doing things. So with help from Nibbles, Nick and Judy arrive in Marsh Market to see if they can find a witness who has seen this snake. So I cannot wait to show way more of Zootopia with you very soon, including animals in outfits like this. Now, where do we find her? You will see all that and more when Zootopia hits theaters in the fall of 2025. I cannot wait for you all to see Moana on the biggest screen you can find. It is epic and hilarious and an unforgettable new adventure with Moana and Maui and an all-new crew. And Hey Hey the chicken, and Pua is going this time too. Yeah, we do have one last surprise. In this film, there is a beautiful new song called Beyond, and we thought that maybe you would like to hear it.
We have a ton of stuff to show, so let's get to it. Our emotions will be in the air for a while with a Disney Plus show inspired by the world of Inside Out called Dream Productions. Yes! You remember the dreams in the first movie where we go to the studio and we see how dreams are made. It's a 4-episode limited series. Each one is about 20 minutes, and it takes place in between the films. So it takes place between Inside Out 1 and Inside Out 2. We're calling it an in-betweequel. Funny. So this is set in the studio again where the dreams are made, and they're made, if you remember, those dreams, every night we dream multiple times. So these dreams are produced on budget, on time. They have a big job at Dream Productions, and I can't wait for you to see more of it when it comes out later this year. It'll be out in December. Coming in the spring of 2025 is a show called Win or Lose. We've made a lot of movies at Pixar, but this is our first original series. We haven't been able to say that since we made the first Toy Story. This is an all original first thing. And we wanted to do something unique and bold and unlike anything we've ever done before. Well, in the summer of 2025 is a film that's going to take you out of this world. I mean that literally, out of this world. This is Elio. I'm so excited to show you and tell you a little bit about Elio. This film is about Elio. He's an 11-year-old boy. He's a little boy. He's obsessed with space. He's obsessed with aliens. And amazingly, little Elio, he ends up getting beamed up into space, and this little boy becomes the very first human ever to make contact with the aliens. This is an epic journey of heart. There's a lot of heart as Elio forms new bonds with fun and very funny aliens. He navigates a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and he also discovers who and where he is truly meant to be. It's a really special movie that I think speaks to everyone on a universal level. And as I was watching a rough cut, because we're still working on this film of Elio the other day, I felt something familiar, something very similar. And at its core, this is a movie about a kid that's trying to find a sense of belonging. This is just a movie about wanting to belong. I mean, who in here hasn't wanted to feel that same thing? And because of that, we all feel that there's something for everybody in this movie, and I can't wait to share it with the world. There's another brand new original film. Yes, original films. Who wants that? Thank you. We talk about this a lot. We take pride in the fact that when we're working on a film at Pixar, when we're coming up with ideas, we take pride in the fact that the audience might not know what's coming next. So much fun. Of course, it's a movie about a little girl that puts her head into the body of a robot beaver. Listen, it's a crazy movie. It's fun. It's action-packed. It's coming to theaters in the spring of 26. We're really having a blast making this one. The film is all told through the eyes of Mabel. There she is. If you know anybody in your life that loves animals more than people, that's Mabel. My daughter's the same way. And thanks to some pretty amazing technology, which you just saw, Mabel is able, of course, to hop her head, her mind, into the body, just her mind, into the body of a robot beaver. So she could hop into the body of a robot beaver. It's like the cutest version of Avatar you've ever thought of, right? So she uses that because she loves animals. This is her dream come true. She gets to go undercover into the animal world. And this is everything she's ever wanted to do. And when she's there, she befriends another beaver. And this beaver, he turns out to be the king. His name's King George. You could tell he's king because he has a little crown on his head. But the animal world is not what Mabel expected. In fact, Mabel finds that in the animal world, they're working hard to fend off Mayor Jerry. There's Mayor Jerry. Mayor Jerry has big development plans that include building something on top of King George's turf. It's a problem. What happens next, you're gonna have to see. It's an action adventure. It's a comedy. It's a spy thriller. Well, you don't know what's gonna happen next, and that's what's fun about it. Our aim, we really want to have fun making the craziest, most over-the-top crowd pleaser of a film. It's very funny, tons of lovable characters. It's a Pixar movie. Trust me, there is depth and there's heart and there's an emotional core that we are very proud of. Hoppers comes to theater spring of 2026. After that, after Hoppers, you know them. Toy Story 5. I love Toy Story. I'm so proud to stand up here in front of Toy Story. Because Toy Story is what put Pixar on the map. And we're very excited for this next chapter. Woody, Buzz, Jesse, the entire gang are all returning for Toy Story 5. Toy Story holds a very special place in my heart. This is the first film I ever worked on at Pixar. I got sandwiches and brought coffee and swept up the floor, but I worked on Toy Story. I've spent over half of my life with these characters. They are like family to me and everybody at the studio. Through the experiences of these toys, right, we have all learned about loyalty, about belonging, and about friendship. These characters have given us a unique perspective about growing up, which is hard to do, and navigating life. All the Toy Story films, above anything else, the job of the toys has been clear. It's been to be there for their kids when they need it. Woody says that in the first film, and he stands by that through all these films. But with Toy Story 5, that job gets exponentially harder, arguably impossible, when our toy crew goes head to head with what kids are obsessed today. Electronics, right? We all know this. We all know this. It's, you know, toys used to be able to get the attention of those kids, and it's just almost impossible for them to do it now. It's toys meets tech is kind of what we've come up with as we've crafted the film. And all I can tell you now, it's very early, but all I can tell you is the summer of 2026 is going to be fun. And I hope you're there, because we're looking forward to sharing a bit more of that. Finally, before I go, we just made an announcement this summer. I think you know what it is. There's something in development at Pixar. Incredibles 3. They're back. The family is back. Jack, I see Jack in the front row. Jack is back. Everybody's back in an all-new adventure. More on this in the future. We just had to share this, and this is just it. We are just now starting to write the script, and it is so cool. I'm dying. I want to tell you more, but we'll do that later because it's just going to be a treat. I know, but you got to have more to look forward to. I do want to say from the bottom of my heart once again to thank everybody. Thank you. Oi, Brazil!
Barry, I hear your love for The Lion King goes way back. So can you share what this franchise means to you and how it has impacted you personally?
Yeah, as a teenager, I was helping my sister, who was a single mother, raise my 2 nephews. And so I would be watching them, I would be babysitting, and you try to find a movie for them to watch. And so I'd go through all these VHS tapes, and The Lion King was the very first one I put on that they wanted to watch over and over and over and over again. And I started watching it with them, and I realized I loved it as much as they did.
Great. And so, what was it like to take on the story of one of the greatest Disney characters of all time, Barry?
It was wonderful to take on the story of Mufasa. Mufasa is this perfect character. He's a great king. And for 25, 30 years, people have lived with this idea of him as being born into royalty, being born special, being born in a palace. I'm from a place that in the US we would call the favela of America. And I've always identified with characters who come from a place like that, but can still reach greatness. And so I felt like myself and the story of Mufasa that we're telling, they kind of like, they were aligned.
King, but this time features all new songs, this time by the incredibly talented Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Wow! The one and only.
We love him. So what can you tell us about the music in this movie and how it elevates the story?
Yeah, I've never made a musical, and so when Lin came onto the film, you know, he's done Moana, he's done Hamilton, like all these really amazing films. And we also discussed Lebo M, who is the voice of Lion King. He sings the opening song in all the films, of making the voice of Africa very important and integral to the film. So Lin really understood that, and we brought Lebo from South Africa, we brought a choir from South Africa. He brought all this energy that he brings to all his other work to The Lion King.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know, I love Disney fans, and I also love the passion of Brazilian Disney fans. Thank you, D23 Brazil.
Grammy, e Tony.
Hi everyone, Rachel Zegler here from the new movie Snow White, and I hope you're all having a wonderful time at D23 Brazil. As you know, we have Snow White coming out in March of 2025, and we are so excited to share the movie with you. From the incredible story to the impeccable music, we cannot wait to bring this magic-filled adventure to a theater near you very, very soon. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Ray Romano here with some big news. Wow, it's cold in here. Did the AC break or something?
Hey, Ray, you ready to give the big announcement?
Sure am. Just give me a minute. Could somebody turn the heat up, please?
I see you got my gift.
What's happened?
I thought it'd be fun. Okay, tell him.
Ice Age 6 is coming to theaters.
There we go.
The herd is back, baby. I gotta call everybody I know.
Olá, D23 Brazil. Eu sou o D2. O Cassian enviou para contar a vocês sobre a segunda temporada da nossa série Andor. A segunda parte da nossa história irá acompanhar Cassian ao longo de 4 anos. 3 episódios totalizam 1 ano. À medida que ele se transforma no herói rebelde que vivemos cumprir seu destino com seu sacrifício final em Rogue One.
May the Force be with you, B2.
Vamos nessa!
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today for Brazil D23. You're joining us virtually because we know you are hard at work in New Zealand on your upcoming filming Avatar, Fire and Ash. Can you share where you are in the process and what you're most excited about? Welcome.
Well, we're in post-production, and that's a process where I use a virtual camera, a handheld camera, and I make the shots for the film, and then we complete them in VFX. And, you know, what's exciting to me right now is that as we complete these shots, I see all the little detail, all the little nuances in the actors' performances coming out, and how real these people are, even though they're 10-foot tall blue aliens, you know, but to see the work, the detail in the work that Sam Worthington did, that Sigourney Weaver did, Zoe Saldana, Kate Winslet, you know, all the others, and to see that they're living, breathing, real people with real heart and real depth of the soul. And as we see that emerging every day, when I view the finished shots as they come in one by one, or sometimes 10 or so at a time, I say to my VFX guys, it's like Christmas morning, every morning, when I see the shots that were rendered the night before. You know, I've been working on this film for almost 4 years now, but this is the best part of it in a way. I mean, I love working with the actors, don't get me wrong, that's the true act of creation. But right now we're seeing it all come together. It's pretty damn exciting.
Can you talk a little more about your approach to the filmmaking process and how the incredible performances of the cast are able to come to life on screen?
It's about seeing the detail and seeing the big story at the same time, and I think that's one of the hardest things for a director. You know, when you're building a world, when you're creating the creatures, first thing you do is you surround yourself with great artists. So that might be the design artist, the concept artist, the creature designer, but of course you also surround yourself with great actors, you know, and you respect them and you get into a great partnership with them and you learn to trust them. So I write these scripts. I know what every moment means. I find that the most important part of my process is communicating with the actors. First, I give them everything I've got. I give them every piece of detail on the characters that I can offer. And then I say, all right, now it's yours. Now it's yours, and you come back to me with who you think this person is. And it's always a little bit refracted through the lens of their own heart and soul, who they are as a person. But obviously the art of acting is to create something new in a character. And since we're in the third film now, it's not just creating a new character, it's taking that character through the changes of life and, you know, reacting to victory, reacting to defeat, reacting to trauma, to love, to the loss of love, all of those things.
Can you tell us a little about the new Na'vi clans you will meet and the new environments that we will see in the upcoming film, please?
So there's 2 new cultures in Fire and Ash, the third film. We have what we call the Wind Traders, and they're nomadic, and they travel around the world kind of following shipping routes, essentially trading routes, but they do it in an airborne fashion. And you know, I think some imagery's been released that they move in these kind of convoys or caravans around the world. And they're pretty interesting people culturally. They're a lot of fun. We don't spend as much time with them as we do with the Ash people, the Manquan. And the Manquan are a group of Na'vi that are quite down twisted. They've taken what's good about the Na'vi, and they've kind of twisted it into a very dark view of the world. And they call themselves the Ash people because their culture, their civilization was destroyed by volcanic eruptions. And so they just have a lot of hostility toward the world at large, to Ewa, to the sense of connectedness that all the other Na'vi have. And I think, you know, we'll see in them some of the darker side of ourselves, just as we see the best of ourselves in the forest Na'vi and the ocean Na'vi. And, you know, we see kind of spiritual beings that, you know, that have a connection to nature, that have a connection to each other. We're going to kind of see the opposite in the Ash people. And so then the conflict, conflict arises from that. It's really about trauma. It's about trauma, it's about loss, it's about the sort of the need for revenge, it's about the anger and the fury that comes from having lost something, or you know, and we have a lot of anger, and we have a lot of fury, we have a lot of fear, we have a lot of hate in our world right now. I kind of wanted to explore that. I don't want to make this sound like it's a terribly dark film. It's a film about this family, about the Sully family, but their challenges are not just as simple as fighting against, those bad colonizer sky people. It's a bit more nuanced and complex world in this film.
Now with Avatar, Fire and Ash, it sounds like we may see fire making an appearance in some way. If so, how have these two elements impacted your approach to filmmaking and your approach to directing the cast?
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I mean, in the last film, we had the water world of the water people, the Metcaina clan, and we had to teach our actors how to essentially be very comfortable underwater, hold their breath for long periods of time. We don't have the same challenge with the fire because you don't live inside the fire. It's a different kind of element. It has more of a symbolic meaning. The fire people, the ash people, for me, the symbolism is around, fire is chaos, fire is violence, fire is destructive. The water is healing, the water is life-supporting, and so on. So there's an opposition of ideas there. But we basically, in this film, we reprise the cultures we've seen before. The forest Na'vi with their connection, the water people with their connection to the creatures that they have a bond with, which are the Tulkun creatures that are, kind of like Pandoran whales. And the Ash people are the chaotic element, they're the violent element, they're the element of hatred that kind of infects the story. And you'll have to see how that all plays out. I don't want to get too much into the detail of the story, and it's not really just about a clash of cultures. It's really a story about this family and the specific challenges that face them as they have to go up against not one enemy, but two enemies now. The humans, the RDA, the colonizers, the ones that have come to take and destroy their planet, and the Ash people, because I didn't want it to be as simple as all humans are bad and all Na'vi are good. We now see that there are some good humans, very good, and people that we want to invest our time in as an audience. And at the same time, there are some Na'vi that have sort of broken their bond with Ewa, with the connectedness, with the spiritual.
A particular creature in the world of Pandora that might be your favorite, Jim?
Well, I always like the predators because they're fast and scary, right? So the Thanator, the viper wolf, the big Akula, which was a shark-like one. But I think I've reached a point where my favorite creature, my favorite species is the Tulkun, the ones that are like whales. It was such a challenge for us from an animation standpoint to make them feel like real people in a body that was completely not like our body, and to give them culture, to give them a voice, to make individual characters. And I do a lot of work with ocean exploration and ocean conservation. We had an Emmy award-winning TV series, limited series on National Geographic a couple of years ago called Secrets of the Whales. And I got to learn an awful lot in the making of that film about real whale culture. I just have such infinite respect for these amazing animals, and this is my way as a filmmaker celebrating that and hoping that maybe people will make the connection and say, hey, we have those. We have Tulkun right here on Earth. And maybe we need to start respecting them more and killing them less.
We hope so. We hope so.
Guys, I love Brazil. I love that we have fans there. You know, these films celebrate nature, celebrate the people of nature, and you have some of the most incredible natural beauty in Brazil, in the forest, along the coastlines and so on. You have these living, rich ecosystems. I'm so jealous that I don't get to live there and be in that world all the time, and you have a rich indigenous culture going back. And I hope that these films will inspire you to protect that and conserve that and make it a part of who you are as Brazilians, not just the city life, but the whole life of the country.
We really appreciate that. Have a good day, James Cameron.
Welcome to Brazil, Rami. Thank you for being here. We're so very excited to hear all about The Amateur. So this movie looks incredible. Do you mind telling us a bit about the story?
Well, first of all, it's such a privilege to be with you all. I think he's someone we least expect to do something extraordinary. You know, someone we can see in any aspect of our lives, just on a regular basis, and go, well, I don't think they're capable of that. He deals with some grief at the beginning of the film. A loss of someone he adores is his wife, and the CIA isn't doing anything about it. And he has a choice. Do I just bury my head in the sand, or do I actually dig deep and find some power inside myself? And I think that's something we do every day, all of us. It was extraordinary. I mean, having a mentor figure like Lawrence Fishburne, who we've seen, he has that ability to fill you with this confidence, but also tell you in a scene, you're not good enough, you can't do something. But then you surprise him, perhaps. And to surprise Lawrence Fishburne in a scene is a moment that I won't forget. But yeah, you have Rachel Brosnahan from, Yes, you'll be seeing her soon in a big way. Everyone from John Bernthal, who and we just came together to do something I think that we've never seen before in an espionage film. There's something really visceral about it that you get from a Bourne or you get from a John Wick, but there's an element of who he is that takes you to a different place, that makes you feel like I'm right there, being in the seat of that person, their experience, what they're going through. And so you don't feel as, perhaps you feel closer to that character than you have in a film like this in the past.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rami. We are beyond excited. Can't wait to see the film when it hits theaters April 11, 2025.
Thank you,
Rami.
Malek.
It is great to be back here. This is amazing. This is my third time in Brazil. The best fans in the world, especially the fans that are here at the first D23 Brazil. Our biggest fans in the entire world are in Brazil, and our biggest fans in Brazil are in this room. So today, we brought a little bit of everything to show you, including live action and animated shows for Disney+. Now, to do that, I'm going to bring out somebody who is very, very important to us. He's a core member of the Marvel Studios team. He's been with us since Iron Man 1. My friend, the head of streaming, television, and animation, Brad Winderbaum.
It's so great to be here. So great to be back in Brazil with the greatest fans on earth, the greatest Marvel fans on earth. I hope you guys are ready to hear about some upcoming new shows on Disney+. We're looking ahead at a great year. I'm going to show you stuff that takes us all the way through 25. And you know, when we started the television studio 5 years ago with WandaVision, we never thought we knew you'd like it, but we were so thrilled that you loved it. And we're going into, you know, new directions, deeper dives into new characters, new stories, and it's all extremely exciting. And we are so grateful you came along with us when we started exploring all of these new characters. You know, from the TVA to the Witch's Road. It's really your love and the love of the audience that keeps us going and charges us to tell new stories. And over the past 5 years, we've built out not just the television division at Marvel Studios, but also our brand new animation studio. And we've been, you know, it's allowed us to push our storytelling into new places. It's been a dream come true. Like so many people in this room, you know, I grew up watching the original X-Men, the animated series. The characters are timeless and fun. I mean, it's just incredible to be able to work with these icons. And we were able to continue their stories in X-Men 97 that launched earlier this year on Disney+. Now, we've been hard at work on a second season. We don't have a ton to show you yet because we're so early in the process. Some of the web-slinging action we're going to bring to Disney Plus early next year. It goes without saying that Spider-Man is a seminal character in the 85-year history of Marvel, and your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man reimagines Peter Parker's heroic beginnings in like a true comic book style. As you can see, the design team was inspired by the early comics and all the generations of artists that came before, especially Steve Ditko, the artist. Let's give it up to Steve Ditko. Disney legend Steve Ditko. Who, you know, started all with Stan Lee in Amazing Fantasy number 15. Our series is set in New York City. It's an amazing ensemble. You see some of the suits. I'm going to leave this image up on the screen for a few seconds so you can see all the Easter eggs. And I can tell you, it is really a story about a neighborhood. It's filled with characters from the Spider-Man comics, but there's also incredible Marvel cameos throughout as well. This holiday season, we want to give the audience one more gift. We're going to take you on one more ride through the multiverse in What If Season 3. What If launched, it was the show that launched the Marvel Animation Studio. It premiered in 2021. It was our first animated series, and it introduced us to the amazing characters and worlds of alternate versions of the MCU. And you know, as a fan of the comics and as a fan of the movies, it's just so great to revisit all those characters. And it's a real privilege to bring to you the culmination of this adventure through time and space. But now I want to focus on our next series. Daredevil Born Again. Coming to Disney Plus on March 4th. As a fan, this is a series I'm enormously excited about, and one that you all, the fans, have been demanding for years. We're revisiting the life stories of born rivals Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk. Gritty tone of Daredevil, and you know, imagining a new collision course between these two men that will rock the city to its core. But you know, don't take it from me. Let's hear it from Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk themselves.
Demoledor.
That's a great word to know.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, it's such an honor to wear that suit, and it was difficult to accept the fact when the show ended in 2018 that I might not get that chance again, So, you know, it never gets old putting it on. I'm immensely honored to play this character and to wear that suit. And the new suit is very cool.
He's known for being both terrifying and complex, so how has your understanding of the character deepened over time?
Oh, wow. Let me say hello to Sao Paulo first. It's so nice to see you again. Let's see. He's become more complicated. He's searching for more power. He's becoming more dangerous than ever. And he still has this pain in the butt to deal with.
One of the things the fans really loved about the original Daredevil series were the fights. So how do you think this series stack up in terms of fight choreography and style?
Yeah, sadly there's no fighting in this new season. So it's all gone. It's just a courtroom drama.
Untrue. Not true.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sao Paulo.
Thank you.
For Charlie, for Vincent, for Brad. Everything coming out of Marvel Television and Marvel Animation is incredible, and we're very proud of it. But you know, we also make movies. You guys like going to movie theaters and seeing big giant movies? Okay, good. We're working on 3 big giant movies for next year. The first one I'm going to talk about, we are weeks away from finishing filming on the Fantastic Four. This is something I'm so excited about, the opportunity for the first time for Marvel Studios to bring Marvel's first family into the Marvel Cinematic Universe next July. The Fantastic Four, first steps, will not only introduce a brand new team of heroes with an incredible cast, Joseph Quinn, Vanessa Kirby, and Pedro Pascal. They're incredible. This takes place in an entirely different universe, with an entirely different aesthetic, new suits, new vehicles. Thunderbolts comes out in May. It is an incredibly fun team-up with an incredibly great band of MCU misfits. We've got fan favorites like Florence Pugh, like Sebastian Stan, we've got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and we have somebody who flew here to Brazil for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, David Harbour.
Wow. They said come to Brazil. They were right.
That's how we do it, David. That's how we do it. So, Brazilian fans are incredibly passionate about the MCU, as you can see.
It's a beautiful thing. It's the reason why I begged Kevin to come here this year. You've been telling me come to Brazil, and I've never had a chance to come. The Red Guardian is a very special character. He thinks very highly of himself, and yet he knows that he's probably not great in many ways. But he teams up with Bucky Barnes, along with U.S. agents, Taskmaster, Ghost, and of course, my favorite character in the MCU, Yelena Belova, played by the incredible Florence Pugh. And you know, there's so much backstory to these characters that you haven't seen. There's so much mystery to them. There's so much that you don't yet know about them. And I think we're going to show you a lot about who they are, what they're made of, what they are not made of, what they lack. And, you know, how incredibly endearing, beautiful, and special they are as people, and more so as a team. I think there's something about this movie, about superpowers and superheroes, that our powers are inextricably linked to how broken we are in a certain way, and that our powers only thrive in relationship to each other.
that in isolation they can be a curse, but that when we're in the right alignment with each other, they can be, you know, even greater than those individual powers. And I think that Thunderbolts explores finding your place in the world, finding your footing in an unsure world. So yeah, that among many other things.
Little thriller coming in February. It's our next movie out. We're bringing one of my favorite people. We're introducing a new actor into this. His name is Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford in the MCU is unbelievable to me. It's incredibly exciting. The stars of this movie, of course, are Sam Wilson's Captain America. I'm very, very excited to introduce to you right now Anthony Mackie and the new Falcon, Ramirez.
Welcome to Brazil.
Thank you.
Yeah, so?
I got one thing to say. Que show da Xuxa é esse?
He's been practicing that for 2 months.
I've been practicing that backstage the whole time.
You couldn't be more Brazilian. Yeah, you're one of us now. Yes. So, Brazilian fans are known for their passion. How does it feel to come to Brazil and experience that enthusiasm for your roles in the MCU?
It's amazing. I mean, I've been to Brazil a bunch. You know, I love Brazil. Shout out to Bahia. São Paulo is my favorite.
Good for you, Danny.
Oh no, this is my first time in Brazil. It took me long enough. But I want to move here, honestly. I don't think I'm ever going to go back.
He's been house shopping. To have the opportunity to be Captain America, to be part of the MCU, it's a dream come true. My first thing when I met with my agent when I started in 2001, I said I want to be a superhero and I want to be in a Western. So I just got to get a Western now.
Oh, okay. I'll do the recent one because this one's exciting. So we had to shoot a big portion of this in Atlanta, and so it's some of the best crew in the world. And we got to shoot a little bit in Los Angeles, and I got to see Anthony Mackie, the comedian, be able to say the same jokes in Atlanta, and then workshop them, and then say the same jokes on set in Los Angeles. And there was moments that I'd look around, everyone was cracking up, and I'm like, I've heard this joke before. It's not that funny. And everyone was rolling and cracking up. So yeah, I think every single day on set with him, he just led by example by loosening everybody up because he's so fun to be around. And but when it's business time, it's business time. And so, thank you, man. Thank you. One of the things that comes to mind with Joaquin is his heart. I don't know if that sets him apart because a lot of heroes in space have heart, but he's one of the few that as he's taken the mantle of Falcon, he has his hero that he's looked up to and like right next to him the whole way. And I think that's a great privilege that many other people, as they take over the mantle, there's some distance and some separation within that. But I get to work with my hero, both in the film and in the real world. Man, I love him, man. Yeah, I think that sets him apart, that he gets to work alongside his hero.
He's your hero, but he's our hero too. That was amazing.
Guys, let's hear it. I got you a little gift. One for you. One for you. You're an amazing host. You've been great. Now, Kevin, we talked about this. He doesn't share. Did you bring a hand for everybody? You can't